Hi, we're going to show you a demo today of wireless communication for Industry 4.0 compliance, right? We're going to show how data can be pulled from some of our metrology devices out to your PC for further data analytics. So I'll explain the setup we have very quickly. We have a fabulous V7 700 Trimos height gauge. We also have, just to show you that the setup that we have here can accommodate multiple devices, multiple types of measuring devices. We also have here a Sylcom Sylvac micrometer, and what we're going to do, the screen that you can see out there is the Sylcom software made by Sylvac. All of these readings, we're interfacing these two devices with the Sylcom software. So we're going to show you how wirelessly the data from our measurement data is going to be transmitted to the Sylcom software, and what we can do with the data on the Sylcom software itself. Right? We're going to we'll give you a very brief glimpse into some of the features of the Sylcom software, and in addition, we will also show you data export into custom Excel formats. The specific format we've taken as an example is this one right here. We will show you how data is exported to this format. So very quickly, I'll just walk over the setup here. So this is, as I explained, our Trimos height gauge. For connectivity between Trimos and the Sylcom software, there is no, as I said, you can see that there's no wiring extending out from the height gauge. Instead, what we have here is we have a Bluetooth, a small Bluetooth dongle that's connected here to the height gauge. This has the necessary firmware that the Sylcom software recognizes. In addition, the Sylvac micrometer, it is natively connected to the Sylcom software. So all it takes is it in fact transmits readings live, and for recording a specific reading, there's a button here. Similarly, we press a button here on the Trimos height gauge to transmit data when we want to. Alternately, we also can set up data collection triggers using foot pedal or any. It can even be set up to hotkeys on the computer keyboard itself, where merited. For the demo today, we're going to use this little demo component. It's a standard demo part that's available in the metrology industry. We're going to take we're going to measure 4 features. There's the diameter of this big hole. We're going to measure the diameter of one of these small holes. We're going to measure the overall thickness of this plate, and we're going to measure the height of this little step over here. Okay, the first 2 readings, the hole diameters, we're going to measure using the height gauge. The thickness, the 2 thicknesses, we're going to measure using the digital micrometer. So I have it all set up, and before I begin, I'm also going to walk you through the setup we've done on the Sylcom software itself. So for instance, you can the screen that you see, you can see a variety of different headers in the on the top of the screen. Not going to walk you through each of these, but just a few. So we have the Sylcom software has the ability to set up a number of different parts, just as you would in your typical manufacturing environment. Here we've created one part that we've called a Trimos demo part. Okay, in the software you set up the various instruments that you're having connected. So here I've gone into the instrument screen, and you can see that there are 2 instruments connected. One is the Trimos V7 700 and the other is the Sylvac micrometer, along with all of their other details like the Bluetooth device ID, so on and so forth. Okay. Connecting devices to this is very easy. There is a Bluetooth screen here. You go here, it searches for the Bluetooth devices within the range of the PC, and it in fact even has native programming to identify and segregate, for instance, standard Bluetooth devices like say this mobile phone over here. It will not list these, and so that it will only list the specific devices, measuring devices that can be connected, so that the user does not get confused. So we have instruments right here. We have list of various characteristics that we've set up in the specific control plan for the particular component, right? So what we're going to do, so as I mentioned control plan, right here for each component, you can define a series of control plans or inspection plans, much as we do in the traditional manufacturing shop floor, right? So just to show you how we've set up one of these, for this particular part, I mentioned 4 dimensions that we're measuring. So if I go here on the screen, they are here. I have set up the 4 different dimensions. We've already, of course, set this up in the past, but adding new characteristics is as simple as coming out here and clicking this button, and there's a simple dialog box that allows you to mention the name of the characteristics, the specific values, the upper and lower tolerance limits, the precision with which you want the values to be recorded, so on and so forth. So we're going to now get started. So I'm going to start this control plan. Okay, enter the serial number of the part that we're measuring, 0001 for instance. Continue. Okay, and now as you can see, the cursor is active on hole 1 dia, right? So that is something we're going to measure as we explained with the height gauge. And that's the first diameter over here. So I read it as 70.0259, transmitting it, and as you can see, the data is now visible here in the on the Sylcom software, on the Sylcom screen. And now we're ready for the second hole. I read 11.9898 millimeters. Send it, and as you can see, 11.9898. We've just shown when you read the readings on the Sylcom software, just for representation, we've shown them displaying it in 2 different formats. In fact, the software allows you to set up your screen displays in a variety of formats that might be convenient to your operators. They can show it in gauge format. You can actually show it as a box plot, as a real live box plot. So there's a variety of different ways that the readings can be displayed. Now, it's time for our thickness measurements. Yep. So I've just measured the first one. 25.091 is the thickness of this. And the last I'm going to measure is the step height. .046 is the measurement. And yeah, so we have just the one part that we're measuring for this demo. So stop. And now the screen, as you can see, is actually ready for the forthcoming component already. However, let us now go ahead and take a look at what it is that we have done, right? So for instance, within the Sylcom software, there are certain features such as you can go to this data monitoring. As you can see here, for each of the characteristics that we have set up in the control plan, the Sylcom has simple online SPC capabilities. The various characteristics we have set up are available over here. And as, of course, in this case, we've just taken one reading, but as we inspect more and more, you can have a real-time control chart on display here, in addition to the the distribution curve of each of the characteristics, right? In addition, here, this is the Excel file that we had shown up front. Earlier, as you remember, in this demo video, it was all blank. What Sylcom has done is it has transmitted data automatically to the Excel sheet. Now we have basically configured this up front, of course. Just show you on the Sylcom screen. There is an area called export settings, and what we've done is specific to the template that we have built, the Excel template that we desire. We have defined here the series of data that we want exported to Excel, and as you can see, it is so powerful and flexible that you can define each specific parameter where exactly on the Excel sheet, which specific cell you want it to be sent to. And it has various other advanced features in terms of, once you set a specific pattern, you can have it loop to fill up a complete table of data of, let us say, if you measured 15 or 20 parts altogether. So it's a very flexible and powerful software, very simple, extremely user friendly to set up an instrument, measure, and have the data transferred. Native connectivity with all Sylvac's Bluetooth devices and Trimos devices with that Bluetooth dongle, which is a purchasable accessory, and extremely customizable and flexible export to Excel for various other for further data analysis. And that's all we have for now. Thank you.